Welcome to another episode of Dad's Rules with Kevin Belzer. And today, a little bit different. We had a little snafu. Going to give you a little bit behind the scenes of what happens in the world of recording and just life in general. Okay, so I had an episode recorded for today. It glitched, which is why I'm now recording a new episode for today. And it's raw. It's like my walk and talks. It's going to be no music on the way in, no music on the way out, nothing fancy, no microphones, no nothing, just me and the cell phone. Because you know what? Life happens. But I promise to have a video up for everyone, video and audio on all the sites every Wednesday. We've been doing that for over a year now. We started with our first episode April 30th, May 1st. I think it depends which site you're on, but right in there is when the first episode aired last year. So it's been over a year that we've been broadcasting. We're now on, this will be episode number 72, according to the episode guide on here, 72. So anyway, that's a little bit behind the scenes of, oops, lost an episode. I was telling my wife earlier as she was walking out the door that I have no idea what we even talked about on the episode. So it's just gone forever. There's nothing we can do about it. We'll never ever see it again. Oh well. People often ask me when I'm doing my Zooms, is this background behind me, is this wallpaper, is this real? And as you can see, it is absolutely real and ridiculous. It is years and years of collecting music behind me. Every different genre you can think of, but mainly melodic rock. That's my general go-to on that. Down here as well, since we're showcasing what's going on in my world, is my dog. So dog likes to join me whenever possible. As you can see, he's ready for nap time. Got a bunch of paperwork over there, which is boring, as well as that is actually my stack of unlistened to music. Got some of my books up there, the original printing of Dad's Rules. Don't buy it. Okay, just don't buy it. No, that's not saying that it's bad. It's actually very good, but I don't want you to buy it because we're in the process of re-editing it. That is also sitting on my desk. It is in the to-do pile right here of things I need to get done. Oops. Yeah, but that's what we're doing on that one is we're working our way through. Lost my little stand here. We'll do a little correcting as we're going here. We're doing a little additions to each chapter, and we're also taking the different chapters, rearranging things to where they make a little bit more sense, flow a little bit better. There was a few typos. Honestly, we had an English teacher look at it. She only found 2 on it, but we ran it through the thing, and after I added more content, we moved things around. I, of course, created a complete and utter mess of things. So, yeah. I will get all this put in. It's been corrected by the editors now, so I can put it back in, get it off to the publisher. Next thing will be in a couple weeks from now, I'm going to be photographing. Yeah, we'll probably have some behind the scenes filming of it, but we'll be photographing the new cover. We're going to do I don't really want to tell you. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. All right, it's going to be totally different from the old cover. Bear with me. I'll grab the original one. There's nothing really wrong with the original one, but when you're changing it, so it's got a hand that's holding the earth. But when you're changing something, when you're revising it, this is just my opinion, that it just kind of makes sense to change the cover, just change a lot of things along with it. So the new book, we'll add, I think we figured out, it's going to add about 20 pages to it. So not a ton, but it will add a little bit more depth to some of the content, little corrections as well, and move things around. Just in essence, be an anniversary edition. It has been 5 years since this book went Amazon #1 bestseller. Pretty happy about that. I want to get that out really quickly because I'm still waiting on the second book to have the cover done. It's just taking forever. I'm not losing my patience or anything, but I would really like it done. I figure, okay, I'm going to use that time to quickly get this one republished, then get that one done. I'm already working on the next one. I've got some ideas for the next batch of rules for the third one, even though the second one's not even out. So it's going to be quite exciting to get on with that. So that's a little bit of the housekeeping of what's going on. Also, I might as well go into this too. We're 72 episodes in. If you've been listening since the beginning, you may have noticed that we've shifted things around as far as what we talk about, what we cover. Dad's rules, if I can talk, was always meant to be whatever interested me at the moment. Yes, I was going to talk about the rules. In fact, we're going to be filming some episodes later today that are definitely going to be covering the rules. I'm going to go over one of them today here in a moment as well. So we'll still be doing that, still showcasing those, but I wanted to expand it. All right. So we're going to have more off-the-cuff topics. As you've noticed over the past several episodes, we've been doing a lot to where we're drawing cards and having conversations off those. Those are those prompt deck cards that I have a whole bin of. Literally a whole bin of cards, and I'm ordering more. But these are by Best Self. They're not a sponsor or anything, and it doesn't really matter if they were or are or are not a sponsor. I like the cards. They have generated a lot of conversation. We've gotten some really cool reels off of them too that have started conversations with friends and new friends that we've met along the way, because all the social sites that we've been going to and posting everything have been growing tremendously. The views are just through the roof. I'm super jacked about the response to everything we've been doing. It makes me tickled pink how much things have been embraced. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, let's see, I pulled the numbers last week. Last week when I pulled the numbers on the podcast, because I don't look at them very often because I don't really care. I just post and it does whatever it does. But when I pulled it, I noticed that from 1 week to the next week, we actually had a gain of 25% in audience volume in 1 week. Blew my mind. Wanted to thank you all for that. I greatly appreciate you guys embracing the show. Please, though, leave feedback, reviews, comments, all that fun stuff. I know I normally leave that for the end of the episode, but I just want to bring it up right now that it does really help. The word's been getting out. We're seeing it with the subscribers to the YouTube channel as well. It's still not a lot because it's newer for us, but it's been growing every week. It's getting new subscribers. We're seeing the video content, like some of it, we're just blown away by how many people are watching it and laughing or learning from us. So that's been really cool as well. Long-winded commentary there of where I'm digressing back. Okay. So we've done a lot of changes over the 72 episodes. We're just going to keep doing that. We're going to keep having guests on. We're going to keep having my wife on. In fact, the 10 episodes we're filming today, spoiler alert, she's going to be on, if not all of them, most of them. This was kind of a last minute grab of a studio. So the guests I had lined up, we weren't able to do it for this. So we're going to bump them in in a couple weeks. We're going to record a bunch of episodes again. And at that, we'll have these guests on to share their wisdom and why they're kick-ass adults. I wouldn't be having them on if they weren't. I want to show everybody that I don't give a flip what the economy's like or whatever, that if you are a driven person and you have something that the world needs, you're gonna succeed. Period. All right? That's what kick-ass adults do. All right. So that was a 9-minute little rant of what's going on and all that fun stuff. Quick little story I wanted to end you all with. This gets down to one of our rules. This is going to be the rule number 3. Is this a hill you want to die on? That's what this lesson is going to be about. Short, sweet, to the point. Had a client that was selling a home and buying a home. Both sides of the transaction for her with the other agents were an absolute train wreck. Communication was awful, out of control, buyers and sellers. It was just anything you can imagine. Well, my client is an absolute sweetheart. She went above and beyond for the person that was buying her home. She knew the AC was going to come up in inspection. which it did. She knew that some other repairs were going to come up as well. And then there was a wild card one with the flooring. And it's kind of a weird ask on that one. So anyway, when it came up that, hey, we want a new AC, she's like, yeah, it is 20 years old, 21 years old. Yeah, it's 21-year-old AC unit. She goes, you know what? I'll get them a brand new AC unit. No problem. They asked for the flooring upstairs to be replaced because a dog had gone to the bathroom on it, which, yeah, that is a story in and of itself. But anyway, she goes, you know what? My bad. I will go ahead and put new flooring in as well. And while she was doing that, they went and they asked, hey, can you do this extra work? We'll pay for it. And she goes, sure, I'll go ahead and do that. Here's how much it costs. And then they go and renege on it and don't end up paying her back on that. She goes, you know what? Because she's a sweetheart. She goes, you know what? I just want to close. I just want to get to my new house, move on with my life. It is what it is. I'll just bite the bullet on it. And her biting the bullet on it wasn't $50. It was $1,300 and change dollars. So it was a lot of money that we're talking about. Nectar, not a sponsor. For you listening, I just took a drink of my juice bar drink from Nectar. It's a Popeye acai. I was told years ago I was not pronouncing that properly. And so now I make sure that I'm over exaggerating it, any possibility that I can. Anyway, back to the story. So she did that repair for them. Cool. Ate the money on that. Cool. Like I said, really cool woman. They had this laundry list of stuff that had to be done. She gets it all knocked out. However, she forgot something, and it was not intentional. She just flat out just forgot to do it. And at the final walkthrough, they see it. And I talked to the buyer's agent. I'm like, look, she did $1,300 in other repairs for him. And they're, can't you just talk to your client and go, hey, this wasn't done intentionally. It was literally a board that needed to be sanded and painted underneath the kitchen sink. You're not talking anything that cost, but she already had the paint. So basically it's just time. That's all it cost. And the agent's like, nope. He said he'll hold up closing, blah, 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 and all this. And we have another home that has to close. And she had already made arrangements to where she had a post-possession for 7 days, okay? She had the cleaners scheduled for the very next morning. They would be done the very next morning after the closing. They would be done by about noon, so they could have keys by 12:01 on a Friday. So they could move in over the weekend. This buyer decided that they're going to die on this hill. If this does not get taken care of, that they're going to hold up closing. This is, they're pissed about this. This just tells you how petty some people can be. And this gets to the point of why you got to be careful what hills you die on. And I'm a big believer on that most hills should not be died on at all, period. Most battles, you need to ask yourself, is this going to matter in an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, the end of my life? On my deathbed, will I be concerned about this subject? Normally, no. Well, some things could be an hour, could be a day. Great, I'll grant you that. But most things, just like, you don't even think about it. Like I have to get reminded by my business partner about a lot of things because I just let things go. Rule number 15 is the 30-minute whine. After 30 minutes, I'm just done with it. Also with rule number 3, is this a hill you want to die on? Well, why do I want to die on every hill? That sounds stressful, And no, it's just not going to work for me. So back to the story. She had every intention. She had professional cleaners coming in the next day. Floors already put in because they insist on flooring being put in before close, even though she still had 3 dogs. That's stupidity at another level altogether. But she did it. She had all the furniture moved, put the new flooring in, whatever. It's like I told the agent, I go, look, the dogs are still there. So, but they didn't want to listen to me. They were just adamant, whatever. She had every intention to give them keys at 12:01 the next day. However, when they play this game with the underneath the sink thing, so we have to scramble, get all that figured out. She decides that, you know what? I'm selling my motorcycle, I'm selling one of my cars, and they can just stay there. And I have the home for a week. They can just stay there. So instead of the client who decided to get petty over this little object getting their keys before the weekend so they can move in while they're off on that weekend, she held the keys all the way for the next 5 days. And then she goes, okay, now I'm ready to give them to them on a worthless Tuesday evening that they can't do anything about. They can't move in because they work during the week. Be very careful. Here's a whole learning lesson of this little tidbit. Be very careful what hills you're choosing to die on, because karma is a bitch. And I warned the other agent that karma is a bitch, and karma will come back to bite you if you're not careful. And I had no idea the client was going to do this, but when she did it, I also had no problem with her doing it either. All right. So that is going to be my wrap on this little quick off the cuff episode. Don't think we did too bad. Covered a lot of things. You got to see my home base here. And in a few hours, we're going to be off to the studio to record the next batch of episodes in a professional, brand new studio, new location, everything. Going to be totally different from what you've seen before, so stay tuned for that. I may even drop an episode on Saturday for it. I'm not sure. I always promise you a Wednesday episode. Saturdays is kind of hit and miss on those, but Wednesday, without doubt, we've always come through. So until next time, please leave feedback, share, comment, reviews. It all helps the show grow. We are growing. I greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And if you want to support my wife so she doesn't have to eat ramen, you can always hit up our swag shop. We have a bunch of new stuff that's been added on there over the last couple of months. Check that out. We're also going to be designing a few new pieces for it over the next few weeks. So that's pretty exciting. But you can go to dadsrulesswag.com. Man, I forgot the website there for a moment. Anyway, no notes, no nothing. This is just me staring at my phone. So until next time, go out and be the kick-ass adult I know you all can be.